Dave Zerman, and I started working for Palmer-Donavin 1973 to around 1974. I used to drive a truck for Palmer-Donavin, worked the warehouse, worked the counter, worked at heating division,
Really?
and then began getting into sales. And I also got into purchasing at that time, and was the I guess the vice president of sales and purchasing is what I used to call myself.
Harold Hornsby, and I don't know exactly how long I worked here, about 23 years or something, 24 years. Pretty good place to work. I drove a truck, I worked the warehouse, I worked inside sales, I did warehouse management and inventory control.
My name's Mike Mart. I was originally with MDI and came along with everybody else in the acquisition of MDI when Palmer-Donavin bought us. I was with the company 40 years, and I did just about everything. Majority of the time was in outside sales.
My name's Steve Friend. I retired 2 years ago. I was with Palmer-Donavin and / MDI for, I think it's around 32 years. I was in outside sales. I used to be at MDI when I worked there before Palmer bought us out. I was inside sales. So, but that's been about all I've ever done.
My name's Daniel Delaney, and I was at Palmer-Donavin for 27 years, and I worked in cabinets. I was in charge of the cabinet department in the warehouse, and I also drove a truck.
Well, in my retirement, again, because we've had the 401k program, and we've had some of the other programs, like everything, you use it for your plan to receive this money. Now, the difference is it is stock, and so that stock value can go up or down. Mm-hmm. So far, at least when I was there, the stock didn't move that fast either way. So you may receive that money in a certain amount of time. And that money was used for a lot of things and still is being, whether it was medical bills that I might have had, or whether it was just putting it in the bank for down the road. I think, again, I was not really, when you look at it, I wasn't in the program. I tell the younger guys, you guys have got it made, because I was only in that program maybe 6 years. Mm-hmm. And I would have loved to have been in an ESOP program for all those programs back 30 years ago.
Right.
It would have been fantastic. And so I think that's the part that's a great opportunity for everybody that's younger, when you're already in your late 50s or 60s and you're not in it that long. Certainly I had gains, and certainly it was gained more than I thought it would. The stock did very well. But for younger people that can be in it for 40 years and 30 years, I think you guys are going to be tickled to death when you get done, and be very happy with what you end up with, I hope.
I haven't spent a whole lot of it. I bought a camper, and then I sold a camper, and I bought a few other things, but I pretty well live on what income I have, so I haven't spent my ESOP money.
Well, it's a very important part, because the whole time I worked for MDI Palmer-Donavin, one of my main goals was to retire early. And as part of my plan, it was, I had saved up some personal savings to get me between when I retired to now. And what I'm planning on doing is using my ESOP money to basically live on between now and age 65. And then at 65, your Social Security and your 401k pops in. So it was very important. It was a very important part of planning to retire early.
Good of you.
Well, it's given me an additional cushion. I had a very healthy 401k. The ESOP, when I sold the stock back to the company, it was substantial, but not anywhere close to what my 401k was. But it was a nice little extra cushion to get when I got the check. So.
Well, it'll either help me pay off my house, or put some money down on getting another house. So that's, it'd be enough for me to pay my house off, which would make it easy and nice.